My Cheerios are soggy. I just wanted you guys to know that. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome back to this lovely channel. I need to go to the gym. I need to work on more shorts. And I need to make videos today. So yeah, it's a whole thing. I got my whole schedule today. You know, I'm working on things of that nature for my work. My job will end in July, which is when Haley and I are then going to go on our trip to Japan. And then after Japan, I will be jobless. So the more you guys watch these videos, the more it will help me. Thanks. I need to eat my soggy Cheerios. This is not, they're so squishy. Okay, so I'm waiting for my scooter to charge. I made a few shorts today. I posted a few. I think I'm gonna post some more in a little bit. Once my scooter's charged, I'm gonna try to DoorDash. But for now, I'm playing Monopoly Go because this gets me fetch points, which means it gets me gift cards, which means that's technically money right there. I'm always doing something to get some sort of income. Okay, so since I don't have a third body DSLR like I used to, I do my shorts on here now. So I turn the camera this way and then I put it into my editing software. And then that's kind of how I make my shorts. Some of them I just use old footage and like try to change the size and shape of the video. And sometimes, you know, things get cut off and that's just how it is. But that's what I'm doing. I'm making another little short about this e-ink device because honestly, this thing is amazing. And honestly, you know what? I might do a video on what I have on it. That's what this video is going to be about. Okay, let's do that. Yo, I just made the fattest tuna sandwich ever. So it's got tuna, mayo, honey mustard, and cabbage all on a bun. This is about to go so hard. Wait, how do I prop this up? Yeah. Okay, it's oozing out of the sides. My hands are gonna be so messy after this. Oh yeah, 10 out of 10. Okay, so I wanna go over some of the apps that I have on here. This is similar to an Android device. So I kind of just want to show you guys what I use for productivity in this device, because I don't put any, you know, like social media apps other than YouTube. Okay, I'm just gonna say it, other than YouTube, so I can keep track of, you know, my analytics and stuff like that. But let's talk about and get into what kind of things we have. Also, if you guys have any suggestions for productivity apps, comment them below so that I can add them to my device. Starting off on the lock screen, I like to switch it up a little bit and I put the calendar as the lock screen. And I like this because I know exactly what time it is and I know what day it is, and the date, it's great. And also the battery percentage. So it's great. I honestly love it. But I wish it was like turned, you know? But it's okay. Anyways, you turn the device on, right? Here is what I have kind of configured for this device. So in my tool section, I have all of the tools that it comes with. So it comes with a recorder, a calculator, a Naviball, which I don't really know what that does necessarily, clock, help center, library, AI assist, calendar, and I also have another folder, which in this device, it kind of shows you all the folders that you have. So on the second page, I have this folder, which is just full of games. So I have Sudoku and word search. By the way, I'm going to say this device again is the BOOX PALMA 2. Someone has recently told me how to pronounce this name, so it's BOOX, I guess, rather than box. But yeah, so BOOX PALMA 2. It's a nice e-reader going for around $250. Okay, so I custom made this key into the home button. You can like code this to be like a page down button or anything like that. But it's a customizable button, which is really nice. Next, we're gonna go to this push read, which I don't really know exactly what this does. I think it's just kind of like something that you could read content and things like that. You can download it, but there's no content in there. You can scan documents, which is pretty nice. You can label it and give it a name, and then you can send it as well. Palu, this is what I use for a calendar. So I have a pen that I use with this. This is on Amazon. I don't particularly know the name of this because it's not branded at all. But if you just look up e-ink pens, you'll find this one. I think it comes in white only. It might come in black, but yeah, those are the only two things. It comes with a little soft tip, and then it's like chargeable on the end, and then it comes with a fine point tip. Took me a hot second to find something that would work with the books. I ordered a lot of these, and not many work with this device except for this one. Anyways, going back to my calendar app, I like this calendar app because you can click on the dates, and you can go ahead and say, I don't know, doc appointment at 2, right? And then you hit done, and then it saves it into that date. So you can always just read it from the screen, which is quite nice. So yeah, and then you can do like erasing and all kinds of stuff. But as you can see, I have a few things on my schedule here, which is quite nice to see your schedule kind of all laid out in a planner. And that way you're not buying your planner every year. You're kind of just using the system. And again, when you put it in your bag, it is flat and nice and neat. And it's stowed away. You can also use Google Calendar, but I wanted a calendar where you can write. Google Calendar doesn't really allow you to do that, so I use the Palu app. Going on down here is the store. So you can click on them and you can look at all of the books that you want, really. So if you click on it, you can, download the full edition and you can read it, and I think you can return it, so you can search for like some stuff like that. So that's always cool. You have a dictionary here in case you're like a person like me where you can't really spell things too well. You can do that, but it's more so used for a definition because you can't really spell stuff and try to spell it in the dictionary. It doesn't really work out very well. But yeah, so this is mainly just for definitions. I downloaded a note-taking app. So this is the Note Shelf 3 app. Sometimes it likes to take a second when you click on it. But it's the same ordeal as the calendar. You can write notes in it by hand, and you can also add a note, and you can do text, or you can scan a document, anything like that you can do. So that's very, very, very nice. And I downloaded that specific app because, again, you can write in it. You can also have different notebooks, so you can have a notebook for like journal, or you can have a notebook for like to-dos. You can have different notebooks, which is really cool too. That's something that I really do like about that app. Okay, and the last app on this page is the Notion app. I'm sure everyone is familiar with Notion because it gets advertised a lot, but basically I have a budget, I have video ideas, which are nothing right now. I have a checklist set up for my job, and then I also have a travel planner, which, has a, the packing list and the documents and things like that. And then I also have a monthly budget, but I don't put anything in the budget currently. So, but yeah, Notion is a really good way to kind of stay on task with things. Okay, going on over here, you can download music, you can play music, you can add folders and stuff. There is a tiny little, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a tiny little like SIM card slot, and you open that up and you can put a micro SD card in there. And I put a micro SD card in there. I don't use the micro SD. It's just kind of all the gigabytes of this on this device. And I lost the SIM card tool. So I just use my earring to poke it out. Fun fact, you can use your earring. Okay, you have the books drop. Yeah, kind of like AirDrop type vibe where you could just kind of drop it into another device that is on that. And then this is the gallery. So I don't even know how I did a screenshot, but this is the screenshot. But yeah, you can do screenshots apparently, and you can also use a camera to take photos. So I took this photo of my girlfriend, and it actually took not a bad photo, honestly. And you can click on it and you can share, you can connect your iPhone to this as well, or by a QR code, which is pretty cool because QR codes, like, that's a pretty sick way of, like, you know, sharing that photo. So that's the gallery. And then to go well with the gallery, you have the camera. So this just used the back-facing camera here. Granted, it is not that good of quality. Okay, you can also use the side button. So let's take a photo. It makes a noise too when you make a photo. So there you go. Here I am recording the video. And again, the pictures are not that, you know, best quality in the world, but they're still pretty cool, pretty fun thing to, you know, do. This whole e-ink is all black and white, obviously, so it's just kind of fun to mess around with. And then I also have Spotify, so obviously when I'm doing my work or whatever, I can listen to my Spotify, and it's connected to my phone and this device, so they both share the same account, and you can just literally play something that you want and it'll play. So before we get copyrighted, that's just a little example of how that goes. So that was Spotify. And then next I have my library app. So basically, instead of buying books, I can use this library app, and I can, you know, basically rent out books and then return them within, I don't know how many days. It just kind of disappears by itself. Like, it's due in 5 days, it'll just take it out of my account and return it back. So even if I don't click return, it will automatically return, so it doesn't even charge me anything if it is late or anything like that. You can do holds, and, you know, it notifies you when it's, like, about due, and it shows you your loans and stuff. So I have this app, and it holds all my books on there. So yeah. Next, I have the YouTube app. I don't really use the YouTube app that much because, again, it is only black and white, and there is very little color. So, you know, it's kind of hard to make out with, you know, pixelated grainy black and white photos. However, it still, you can still tell what kind of things are happening. But yeah, so I do have YouTube. I also have the YouTube Studio app, which I'm sure everyone kind of is familiar with. So it shows you all your statistics and things like that on your YouTube channel. And we've already went over the games folder, which again, it just morphs into the 2 pages basically. I also am learning Italian, so I have my Italian app. The only thing that I don't really like about this Italian app is that because it is black and white, you cannot do colors very well. So learning colors on this is basically going to be all guessing, which is very, very unfortunate for me. But that's the only thing that I don't like about this Italian app. But yeah. And then obviously I have Duolingo. So everyone knows what Duolingo is basically. It's just an app about learning things. And yeah, I have Duolingo on there. I don't know if this has a microphone on it. I'm assuming maybe it does, but if I have to talk back to it and try, and obviously it doesn't work, then I know for sure. But yeah, so I use this to learn my Italian and get a little bit better. These down here, so this is the web. So I Googled the timer for 5 minutes because I don't know, I was baking something or whatever, and it rang and everything like that. So the timer was good, worked well. But yeah, you can Google search pretty much anything. So that's pretty cool if you don't ask the AI thing. And this is Google Play. So this again is everything you can get in the apps. Now, this is an Android device, so you can pretty much get any kind of app that you want to. Again, you are limited to like things that are black and white because, you know, if you go on like Instagram or, you know, Facebook, TikTok, things like that, like it's just not going to be in color. It's not going to be the same. But, you know, if you go and get productivity apps, you know, like this device is for, it could definitely do that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can do like stocks and learning things and banking, or you can even just have this whole thing for games. You know, it's basically like a e-reader iPod Touch. Okay, you know, you can't make phone calls or anything like that, but you can, you know, you can do a lot of things basically with this device. But yeah, so this is the Google Play Store, and then here it goes into all of your stuff. So you have your storage, your SD card, and then it goes into the documents. It kind of breaks down everything that's on the device. And then lastly is the settings. So this is all the settings that you can do, and you can program the smart button to, you know, again, do whatever you want. So I have all these different clicks here. You can do password, storage, power, navigation, all that kinds of stuff. The display, which you can do text size, font size, you know, basically everything you can do pretty much on an iPod, okay? And you can do like wallpapers, and you can have these to choose from. And you can do the screensaver, which you only have like a few to pick between. So yeah, there's that. Also, if you hit these buttons down below here, yeah, you can X out of all of the apps. Again, it's kind of like an iPhone where you're swiping out of all of the open applications, so it can save on the power. Now, if you're just reading books, the power life is great. If you're watching YouTube videos or anything like that, it sucks the life out of this thing. So again, it all depends on what you're doing with this device, but it is very, very versatile, and I love this device. So those are all the things that are on my BOOX PALMA 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown of what is on my little e-ink device. Honestly, I wish this was a phone, because then my phone would just be e-ink, and honestly it would make everything a lot easier. However, some things just aren't like that. Also, I can't really watch videos, like the color thing is a little bit of an issue. I wonder if they make these things in color. That would be cool. I don't think they make the BOOX PALMA in color. However, I do think there might be some tablets that might be color, but it is very, very expensive. This is where it's at. Low key, I think things are gonna start becoming more of like this, e-ink. I hope so, because I'm tired of looking at iPhone blue light screens at night, and it's just awful for my eyes, and I can't do it. But this makes me read more. This makes me, you know, pay attention to my calendar and learn more Italian. Like, this makes me want to pick it up and do things on it. So I highly recommend, if you're struggling to learn or do things, pick yourself up one of these things. It is honestly so great, and it's life-changing. Any recommendations on the apps, let me know down below. Everything is linked down in the description below, so if you want to come join my Patreon page, I post photos, videos, things like that. You can go check that out below. I also have links to all of my stuff everywhere. So just go down below. Peace out, enjoy life, live it up, bye.